Claude Code has a feature that 90% of the people using it every single day have never touched. It is not a plugin, it is not some paid add on, it is sitting inside the tool right now. And it is the closest thing to real automation the AI world has shipped. They are called hooks. And while everyone else argues about prompts, hooks let your machine act on its own. So today, I built 7 of them live on this laptop. By the end of this video, my machine formats every file the AI touches, runs my tests after every single edit, physically blocks Claude from destroying my project, keeps a written audit trail of everything it did, and sends a push notification to my phone when the work is done. Every one of these 7 fired for real today, and I kept the receipts. The last one, number 7, chains all of them into a full autopilot run where I take my hands off the keyboard entirely. Stick around for that one because watching it work, honestly, changed how I use this tool. 30 seconds of theory. So the next 12 minutes make sense. A hook is a tripwire. You pick a moment in Claude Code's lifecycle and you attach a shell command to it. When that moment happens, your command runs automatically, every time, no exceptions. And here is the number that shocked me. There are 30 different moments you can hook into. Session starts, session ends, before any tool runs, after any tool runs, when Claude finishes, when it needs your input, even right before it compacts your context. Most people know maybe 8 of them. And there are 5 kinds of hooks: a shell command, an HTTP call, an MCP tool, and here is the wild one, a prompt hook, where a small Claude model makes the decision for you. An AI guarding an AI. Now, why does this matter when you could just write instructions in a claude.md file? Because instructions are suggestions. The model can forget them, skip them, or decide they do not apply. A hook is not a suggestion. A hook is law. It runs whether the model feels like it or not. That difference is everything. And it is why this is the most underrated feature in the whole tool. Build one, the 10-second win. Auto format, everything Claude touches. Here is my test file, and yes, it is disgusting on purpose. Missing semicolons, broken indentation, brackets on random lines. I wired one hook. On the post tool use event, matching edit or write, run prettier on whatever file Claude just changed. That is the whole config, 6 lines of JSON. Then I asked Claude to add a divide function to this ugly file. Watch what happened. Claude made its edit. The hook caught the file on the way out and prettier rewrote the whole thing. Clean indentation, consistent quotes, every bracket where it belongs. 12 seconds after I hit enter, the log shows it. Prettier formatted math.js. I never asked for formatting. I never will again. That is the entire point. You set the rule once and it is enforced forever. One build done, 6 to go, and they only get better from here. Build 2, the bodyguard. And this is the one that sold me on hooks forever. Claude Code can run terminal commands, which is amazing, right up until the day it runs the wrong one. So I wrote a 20-line guard script on the pre-tool use event. Before any shell command or file read executes, my script inspects it. If it sees rm-rf, a force push, or anything touching my .env secrets file, it exits with code 2. And that exit code is magic. It physically cancels the tool call, and whatever the script prints gets fed back to Claude as the reason. Then I tested it honestly. I literally ordered Claude, run rm-rf on this folder. The hook slammed the door. Blocked by bodyguard hook, rm-rf is forbidden here. The command never executed. Then I ordered a force push. Blocked. Then I asked it to read my .env file with the API keys inside. Blocked again. And Claude never saw a single secret. 3 direct orders, 3 denials. And the best part, Claude apologized and moved on because the hook told it why. This is not a model promising to be careful. This is a locked door. Build 3. The one for everyone who has ever sat there watching an AI work, like it is a microwave. Claude Code runs long tasks, refactors, test suites, big migrations. You should not be babysitting the terminal for 20 minutes. So, one hook on the stop event, the moment Claude finishes responding, plus the notification event for when it needs my permission mid task. The command is a single curl line to a free service called NTFY, spelled NTFY. No account, no API, key, nothing to install on the server side. You subscribe to a topic on your phone, and anything posted to that topic becomes a push notification. So now, when Claude finishes, my phone buzzes. Claude Code, done. Come back to your desk. This is the real notification that landed today, sent by the hook, not by me. Start a heavy refactor. Go make coffee. Go to the gym. Whatever. The machine tells you when it wants you. You stopped being the babysitter. That is 3 builds. And the next one is where it starts to feel like science fiction. Quick pause, 30 seconds. The next hook makes Claude catch its own bugs and fix them before you ever see them. And I have the receipt to prove it happened for real. If you are getting value here, most of you watching are not subscribed. And I build and test this stuff on my own machine every single week so you do not have to. Subscribing is free. It takes 1 second. Do that and let us get to the good part. Build 4. The self-checking AI. This is my favorite one. The hook is simple. After every edit to a code file, run the test suite. But here is the trick. If the tests fail, the hook exits with code 2, and the failing output gets shoved straight back into Claude's face before it can do anything else. So I ran a sabotage experiment for real on camera. I told Claude, change my add function so it returns a minus b instead of a plus b. Deliberately break my code. Claude made the edit. The hook fired, ran the tests, and caught it instantly. Assertion error, expected 5, got -1. And that failure went straight back to Claude as feedback. So what did Claude do? It read the error, went back, and fixed the function on its own without me saying a word. The log shows the whole story in 2 lines. Tests fail after edit. Fed back to Claude. 5 seconds later, tests pass after edit. The AI broke the code, the tripwire caught it, and the AI cleaned up its own mess. I just sat there and watched. That is not a coding assistant anymore. That is a junior developer with a supervisor. Build 5, the black box recorder. Quick one, but if you use AI on serious work, this might be the most important hook of the 7. One hook on post tool use. Matching every tool and every single thing Claude does becomes one line in an audit file. Timestamp, tool name, and what it touched. Ran ls on this folder. Read package.json, edited math.test.js. One line each, forever. Here is today's real log. You can read the entire session like a story. Every command, every file, every timestamp. Why care? Because the moment AI writes code that ships to real users, somebody will ask, what exactly did the AI do? And with this hook, you do not guess. You open the file and you read the answer. Compliance people love it, and honestly, past me debugging a weird change at midnight, loves it even more. 5 down, 2 to go. Build 6. The context injector. Every developer has this ritual. New session and you start typing. We are on the main branch. There are some uncommitted changes we deployed yesterday. Remember? You are a human clipboard. So I automated the ritual. One hook on user prompt submit. Every time I send a prompt, my script runs, git commands, and whatever it prints gets silently attached to my message as context. Current branch, how many files are dirty, the last commit message. To prove it works, I did something sneaky. I started a fresh session with tools disabled. So Claude could not go look anything up and asked, "What branch are we on and what changed?" And it answered everything. Main branch, 4 uncommitted files, and it quoted my last commit message word for word. It could not have looked that up. It knew because the hook whispered it into the prompt. My AI now starts every conversation already briefed. 6 built, 6 fired. Time for the finale. Build 7. The autopilot. All 6 hooks loaded into one config at the same time. The formatter, the bodyguard, the test runner, the audit log, the context injector, and the phone ping. One real task, and my hands come off the keyboard. The task: add a power function to my project with a test. Clean up when you are done. And then I just watched the tripwires go off in sequence, like dominoes. Claude wrote the function and the formatter fired. Prettier cleaned both files behind it. Every edit triggered the test runner. 4 tests, 4 passing, verified automatically, twice. The audit log quietly wrote down every single step with timestamps. Then Claude tried to clean up with rm-rf, like I asked it to, and the bodyguard said absolutely not. Blocked it cold. And Claude adjusted and reported the block, instead of fighting it. And the second the whole thing finished, my phone buzzed. Done. Come back to your desk. Total time, 47 seconds. Formatted, tested, guarded, logged, briefed, and notified. 0 interventions from me. That is what 90% of Claude Code users are leaving on the table. So how do you actually install these? 2 minutes, no exaggeration. Hooks live in a settings file. Project level in .claude/settings.json, which you can commit so your whole team gets the same tripwires, or user level in your home folder, so they follow you everywhere. The shape is always the same 3 pieces. The event name, like post tool use. An optional matcher, like edit or write, so it only fires on the tools you care about. And the command to run. That is it. Type /hooks inside Claude Code, and it shows you every hook currently loaded, grouped by event, so you can verify everything is wired. One warning that will save you a headache: Claude Code reads hook config when the session starts. Edit the file, then restart or open a fresh session and check /hooks again. All 7 of my configs are copy-paste ready in the free PDF. I will tell you how to grab it in a minute. One more thing before the safety talk, because this is where hooks get genuinely futuristic. Everything I built today used shell commands, the simplest of the 5 hook types. But there is a type called prompt, where instead of a script making the decision, a small fast Claude model reads the situation and answers yes or no. Think about what that means. My bodyguard script can only block the exact patterns I predicted. A prompt hook can be told, block anything that looks destructive, and judge commands it has never seen before. An AI standing guard over an AI, and with 30 events to attach these to, the ideas write themselves. A hook that summarizes the session into your notes when you compact. A hook that fires when a sub-agent finishes and kicks off the next one. People have barely scratched this. The playbook has the full 30 event cheat sheet, so you can find the tripwire nobody else is using. Now the safety beat, and if you saw my MCP video, this will feel familiar because it is the exact same trust problem wearing a different hat. A hook is a shell command that runs on your machine automatically with your permissions every time the event fires. That is the whole feature, which means whatever you put in that command field, you have granted permanent execution rights. So, 3 rules, non-negotiable. 1. Never paste a hook config from a random gist, a Discord message, or a comment section without reading every character of the command. That JSON snippet is remote code execution with your name on it. 2. If a hook calls a script file, that script deserves a code review like anything else, because it will run unattended forever. And 3. Be careful with hooks in shared project settings. If it is committed to the repo, review changes to it in every pull request, because a teammate editing .claude/settings.json is editing what runs on your laptop. Hooks are the best feature 90% of people ignore. Treat the command field with respect and they stay that way. Everything from today is packaged into a free PDF called the Hooks Playbook. All 7 hook configs, copy paste ready, exactly as they fired on my machine today. The formatter, the bodyguard, the phone ping, the self-checking test loop, the audit log, the context injector, and the full autopilot chain. Plus, the complete 30 event cheat sheet and the 3 safety rules. Comment the word hooks on this video and I will send it to you. And if you are earlier in the journey, I also have 4 beginner guides for people who want the full path. The Beginner's Guide to Claude Code, the OpenAI Codex Guide, Claude for Sales, and the Claude Certified Architect Prep Kit, all linked below. Then 3 quick things before you go. Subscribe here on YouTube. I run real experiments like this on my own machine with receipts every single week. Follow Hyperautomation Labs on Instagram and follow the Facebook page too. Quick tip, this video plays great at 1.25 speed. Comment. Hooks, go wire up your first tripwire and I will see you in the next one.